In the investigation of Endotronics. Dave Andrews is back with that story.
And a judge accused of sexual harassment takes the stand. Catherine Smith shows us what he had to say.
And if you're working for the minimum wage, you might be getting a raise. Carolyn Bruchter is back from the Capitol with more on that story.
Dave Dahl is here with the information on being prepared for our tornado season. Plus, we're going to have sports. All next on Eyewitness News at 6.
Mom, how's your vacation?
Oh, Bruce, I can't enjoy it knowing we have a 400-car inventory. We need a sale now.
But, Mom!
Write this down. Jeep said $87 over invoice.
$87 over cost?
Loaded Oldsmobile Sierras from $10,997 and 88 Renault Medallions discounted.
88s?
Barnett Oldsmobile Jeep Renault Vinoca has to move 100 cars now. And I told the Chrysler Plymouth Jeep store in White Bear the same thing.
Why fight it?
To get the most from your corn crop, you need maximum performance from your corn soil insecticide. That's why top growers depend on Counter with its unique Action 3. Counter controls rootworms, wireworms, and other major corn pests 3 ways. With proven contact, systemic, and residual control for consistent control and superior performance, put your money where your crop is. Get Counter with Action 3.
I'm Harry Sieben. I'd like to tell you about an important addition at Sieben, Gross, and Von Holtum. Former federal Judge Miles Lord, a proven advocate of your legal rights, has joined us. We've always been known as the law firm for injured people that want to know their rights. The addition of Miles Lord will make us even more effective in representing you. So if you've been injured in an accident, on the road, at home, or on the job, contact us for a free consultation. We assure you maximum protection of your legal rights.
Live from Minnesota's news channel, KSTP Channel 5, Stan Turner, Ruth Spencer, Dave Dahl, and Bob Bruce bring you Eyewitness News at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. At the top, a new development in the investigation of Endotronics.
FBI documents made public today show FBI officials believe they found evidence of a criminal conspiracy involving Endotronics. Now, in search warrant affidavits, the FBI says it believes that sales of the company's products to a Japanese customer were misstated. Earlier this week, Endotronics announced its 2 chief executives have stepped down and that the company is facing serious financial problems. Now, Dave Andrews is back in the newsroom now with more on the story. Dave?
Stan, as part of its investigation of Endotronics, the FBI has obtained warrants to search 2 Twin Cities warehouses where Endotronics has said it stored equipment that it had sold to Japan. According to the FBI, the Endotronics company filed documents with the Securities and Exchange Commission saying that biomedical equipment it had sold to 2 Japanese firms was being stored at the warehouses on behalf of the Japanese companies. The sales of the equipment were reported by Endotronics in its financial statements submitted to the SEC and its stockholders. However, the FBI says its investigation has revealed that the financial statements were incorrect. The FBI says Endotronics told personnel of one of the warehouses to write a letter saying they were holding the equipment for the Japanese companies in order to, quote, satisfy the outside auditors of Endotronics, end quote. The outside auditor's report is part of the information Endotronics has to supply to the Securities and Exchange Commission. The FBI says not only does it believe the Japanese sales were improperly recorded in the company's financial statements, itself a violation of federal law, but that the FBI believes 2 or more persons were involved in a criminal conspiracy to violate federal fraud statutes. Now, the FBI would not comment today on its investigation. A federal grand jury is also hearing evidence in connection with the Endotronics probe. There have been no criminal charges filed yet in connection with this case, but the investigation is continuing, and the U.S. Attorney says that the grand jury may be meeting again sometime around the 3rd week of April to continue its investigation of the case. Stan, Ruth?
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, David. A Ramsey County judge accused of sexual harassment took the stand today in his own defense. Judge Alberto Miera is being sued by his former court reporter. Neil Johnson claims Judge Miera fired him after he refused the judge's sexual advances. Catherine Smith reports in some emotional testimony, Judge Miera claimed Neil Johnson was fired because he didn't do his job well.
Judge Miera says he hired Neil Johnson as his court reporter in 1984 after an 8-month search. He thought Johnson would be a good worker with a good attitude. Judge Miera testified they had a few professional problems, but when he rehired Johnson in 1985, things at work turned sour. Quote, his, Neil Johnson's attitude was, and the judge added an expletive. There's no other way to put it. It was such that he thought he could come and go as he pleased, just as long as he was in court when I was on the bench. Judge Miera says that's why he fired Neil Johnson. Some of the judge's testimony was emotional. He choked out words about an evening when he was depressed and suicidal. Judge Miera says Neil Johnson may have saved his life that night, but Johnson claims that night Judge Miera made a sexual advance at him. The judge denies that. Quote, did you, during the course of that evening, ever try to unbuckle Neil Johnson's pants? Miera, I did not. I don't know where he got that impression. I never heard of that until the lawsuit was filed. Did you request sex with Neil Johnson? Miera, quote, no, I did not. Attorneys for Neil Johnson continue to say the defense is ignoring the real issue of this case, that of sexual harassment, and instead that defense attorneys are concentrating on Neil Johnson's work habits and his professional record. Cross-examination of Judge Miera is expected tomorrow. Defense attorneys say they may call 2 witnesses after that, and both sides expect the trial to continue into next week. Catherine Smith, Channel 5 Eyewitness News, Buffalo.
When this case finally goes to the jury for deliberation, the jurors will only be making part of the overall decision. The judge in the case will be deciding the major issues of the case, including whether any monetary award is justified. A man committed to St. Peter's Security Hospital after the murder of his mother and burning of her body has committed suicide. Michael Bobo was charged in the murder of Dorothy Bobo back in 1984. Her body was found burned in her Woodbury townhome. She told police she was afraid of her son and that he should not be released from the St. Paul Ramsey Psychiatric Center. Michael Bobo was being held there just 12 hours before his mother's death. The Nicollet County coroner says Bobo had tried to commit suicide several times. His body was found hanging in a hospital shower.
The state of Minnesota has moved closer to increasing the minimum wage. The State House of Representatives approved a bill that would raise the minimum wage, but Carolyn Brichter reports here it did not come without a fight.
The minimum wage of $3.35 an hour has not been raised since 1982. That's something DFL Representative Randy Kelly was trying to change by proposing an increase to $4.35 in 3 stages over the next 2 years.
This current wage that we have in Minnesota of $3.35 provides sub-poverty level earnings for any family of 2 or more.
But the support was not there for such a big increase. Instead, a compromise of a 20-cent raise January 1st, 1988, then 30-cent hike January 1st, 1989 was proposed. Even then, there was opposition.
No, I think this issue is just one of those proverbial straws, and when you add it together with our high costs for unemployment insurance, our high costs for workers' compensation, our commercial and industrial property taxes, and soon to be the minimum corporate tax on businesses that are losing money, I think when you add it all up together, we are going to be talking about jobs, 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 and we're going to lose, lose, lose.
In the end, the amended bill passed with some bipartisan support. Afterwards, Kelly said he was disappointed, but that something was better than nothing.
I don't think it's adequate, and I hope that in the Senate we can try to ratchet that up.
And so now the bill will go on to the Senate, where supporters admit that it will face an even tougher fight. Carolyn Brichter, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Also at the state capitol, as we reported to you yesterday, the state expects to have $61 million more than expected over the next 2 years. And with that in mind, the governor wants to spend more, with money going to farmers, students, and low-income renters. Most of you probably, undoubtedly, heard the warning sirens this afternoon. It's Tornado Awareness Day, and up next, Dave Dahl will show you what would happen in a real emergency.
And you'll see how the sounding sirens had special significance for some people living in the northern Twin Cities suburbs.
An urgent message from the Mazda hotline. Mazda cash incentives are here. Now you can save hundreds on a Mazda 626, the world-class family car. Save hundreds on a fun-to-drive Mazda 323. Save hundreds off the already low sticker price of a Mazda B2000 truck. Hurry, Mazda cash incentives are here, but they won't be here forever. See your Mazda dealer now and save. See your Mazda dealer in Minnetonka, White Bear, St. Paul, Richfield, and Brooklyn Center.
So what do you think? I don't know. I'm telling you, Frank, you gotta let me order your supply this new command.
Yeah, okay, so why is this stuff so great?
Well, you got your grasses, right?
Yeah.
You got your broadleaf weeds? Well, put this stuff down when you plant your soybeans, and it controls them both.
Hey, it gets foxtail.
Yeah.
And velvet leaf.
Yep.
Hey, that's great, because I swear, I hate velvet leaf.
Okay, shall I put you down for an order of command?
Aid Association for Lutherans. The world changes, and so do we. As your needs have grown more complex, we've expanded to meet them through life, health, and disability insurance, IRAs, annuities, and other financial services. Our fraternal benefits and volunteer programs have grown, touching more lives than ever. To keep pace with a more complicated world, we're simplifying things, including our name, AAL, Fraternal Benefits and Financial Services for Lutherans.
You'll love Levitt's store-wide sale. Levitt's has cut prices throughout their store to bring you incredible savings at Levitt's big store-wide sale, the one sale you can't afford to miss.
That's the sound that filled the afternoon air around the metro area today. It was a test of how prepared all of us are for the coming tornado season.
And meteorologist Dave Dahl's in the Weather Center now to talk about tornado awareness. Dave, what would folks at home be able to find out from us at Channel 5 if there were a real tornado?
Well, Ruth, we would be right here in this room, and it's a steel reinforced concrete room, and it's a safe place to be, but it is one of the best equipped weather rooms in the country. Of the 3 Doppler radars that we have here in the Twin Cities, this Doppler, our KSTP Doppler, is the only one, the most powerful, and the only one that'll actually show wind speeds and wind directions. And along with that, we have 3 or 4 meteorologists that'll be in this room. One that's sitting right over here to my left, that's John Dooley. He will be in here during severe weather as well. Karen Floon, Bill Randy, and myself will all be here in the event that severe weather strikes. Now, those roar of those sirens today had a special meaning for the folks up in Coon Rapids. July 18th at about 5 o'clock last year, there was a strong tornado that ripped through that community, and Dave Andrews returned to a neighborhood that was right in the path of that storm.
It's been 8 months, but they are still cleaning up in the wake of last summer's tornado. The slow-moving funnel was visible for miles as it crossed the Mississippi River, then tore into homes and trees around the river boulevard. The property damage was extensive. Miraculously, no one was seriously injured. George Marvin still clearly remembers the afternoon when the tornado ripped through his backyard.
That's my next project, is digging this one out. See, when it went down, I don't know where that cement block came from. That just landed in here. That landed because it was a tree. It was a split tree. It was split 3 ways. And one went through the fence here and there, and the other one went that way.
Right over the pool.
Right across the deck, across the pool, into the garden.
George says the tornado was so awe-inspiring, he watched it for several seconds before he ran for cover, something he now realizes he shouldn't have done.
The tornado was in that park over there, and that park used to be full of trees. I mean, that was 100% full of trees, and it was coming right through the park when I went into the house, because my nephew was screaming at me to get in the house, you know, so. And so I ran like hell for the house.
The odds are another tornado will never strike this neighborhood, but there are no guarantees. And you can be certain that whenever the tornado sirens do sound, the people who live here will take it very seriously. In Coon Rapids, I'm Dave Andrews, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Well, last year there were 18 tornadoes across the state, and none of them produced a death here in Minnesota. And that's probably thanks to the folks that are becoming so knowledgeable on what to do during the event of severe weather. And I'm going to have our complete forecast coming up, and it does mention the possibility of thunderstorms as early as tomorrow night. And I'll have that in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, Dave.
Sure. All right.
Thank you.
A former Minnesotan who was killed when a pipe bomb exploded in his hands recently in Texas is not connected to pipe bombing incidents in Fargo, North Dakota, and that ruling leads our look around the region tonight. Authorities say the death of 23-year-old Alan Schmidt in his Austin, Texas apartment earlier this month was accidental. Investigators say Schmidt had attended college in Fargo at the same time 2 pipe bombing incidents happened there, but authorities say now that is just a coincidence.
They're off and running in Minnesota.
And the race is on for Minnesota's second horse racing track, and one of the 3 towns in northern Minnesota didn't even make it out of the gate this morning. Coleraine missed the noon deadline to resubmit its application. So now it is neck and neck between Brainerd and Little Falls. Minnesota's first track, Canterbury Downs in Shakopee, begins its 3rd season of racing next month.
All right, well, by the calendar, spring swings into view tomorrow. That's right. Up next on Eyewitness News at 6, meteorologist Dave Dahl shows us what weather the first day of spring will bring.
And later on Eyewitness News, you'll meet Jessica, this week's Thursday's child, and maybe you can give her the love she deserves.
There came a moment when all the elements came together, unleashing a superbly equipped new breed of compact car, the Dodge Shadow, with 2 or 4-door availability, affordable price, a $770 protection plan. The new Dodge Shadow is going to cast a giant shadow across America. Dodge, setting new standards of performance.
Canada thistle, smart, when broadleaf weeds block your way to higher corn yields, overpower broadleaves. With Banville herbicide, Banville provides all the residual control you need to clear the way for higher corn yields. Overpower broadleaves with Banville herbicide.
Anniversary sale, you'll find savings throughout the store on this season's freshest new arrivals. And that's good, because by the time this season's arrivals go on sale everywhere else, the season may be gone. Dayton's Anniversary sale.
Once, glasses took the life out of your look. Now, they make it bold. Bolder. Boldest. Benson Optical, for every look of your life.
32 metro locations. Call the connection for the Benson Optical nearest you.
All right, David, you're back.
Yeah, it's severe weather. And speaking of, you know, John Dooley was upstairs, and he affectionately calls that room upstairs, that weather room, his severe weather summer home. Now, many of you think about cabins in the summertime. Well, he spends most of the summer up there watching that Doppler radar. And we all are going to be around when severe weather strikes, and that's only going to benefit you, the public. Let's hope so. Temperatures today around the 5-state area around Minnesota. Look this way, mild temperatures. Again, approach from the south. We had temperatures into the 50s in the southern part of the state, with 40s across northern Minnesota and the 30s up across the northern part of North Dakota. That was thanks to cloud cover up there, but the sunshine down to our south brought the 60s as close as southern Iowa. That warmer air is on its way up. We could have temperatures tomorrow very close to 60 right here in the Twin Cities. Currently outside, we've slipped a couple. Right now, our temperature's at 48, the dew point 38, relative humidity at 68%, east wind now at 14, the barometric pressure on the rise at 30.06, cloudy skies. Today's high temperature did make it up to 48. That's 9 above the average, 40 this morning's low. That is 18 degrees, way up there above the average, and no rainfall officially since midnight last night. We are expecting to see that cooler air stay off to the north and east of us. There is a pocket of cool air way up to the north and east. That should continue to slide on away from us, and warmer air is replacing it across the upper Midwest. Overnight lows last night in the 30s across most of the upper Midwest, 30s all the way up into southern Canada. But this area of 40s and 50s down to the south, that is going to be creeping up in this direction as well. Satellite loop for the last 8 to 12 hours has been showing a swirl of clouds taking shape out to the west of us. This is another powerful winter-type storm. Could produce as much as 1 to 2 feet across the mountains of Colorado into southern Wyoming. That system will spread some showers and maybe even some thunder showers in this direction as it picks up that moisture from the south. It's a pretty swirl, and that activity is heading in this direction. We are expecting to see that gradually work this way. Tomorrow, a classic low-pressure system developing in eastern Colorado has all the markings of producing some severe weather from Kansas down through Oklahoma and parts of Texas, as it has that warm, unstable air out ahead of it, then cooler and drier air working in behind, cool enough to produce heavy snow again across the central Rockies tomorrow. The forecast for the Twin Cities looks much more stable and calm than that. Decrease in the cloud cover tonight, 33 to 37, staying mild above freezing overnight, southeast wind. The outlook for the time you get up tomorrow morning, heading on to school or work, partly cloudy skies, 38 degrees, spring starts tomorrow night. Looking ahead for the afternoon, we could have lots of sunshine. We're still going to call it partly cloudy, 54 to 59. Could have a few 60s showing up around the city. Southeast winds up to 25 miles per hour. It's going to feel like a spring day. Showers late in the day, could even be mixed with a little bit of lightning and thunder then. For Friday night, late 38 to 43 for overnight lows. Maybe some showers and thunderstorms early in the daytime hours on Saturday, 48 to 53, then possibly breaking into sunshine Saturday afternoon. Looking ahead, the best day of the weekend right now looks like it will be Sunday with quite a bit of sunshine, 30s for lows and 50s for highs, then cooling down a little bit for Monday and Tuesday, and cool enough to produce a mixture, possibly, of rain or snow on Tuesday as that storm system, another chunk of energy comes in from the west. It's good news, though. We need the moisture across Minnesota.
Amen to that one.
Yep.
Spring tomorrow, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, David. Still ahead, round one of the girls' state high school basketball tournament.
And Stan, the twins' dynamic duo of 1986 will try to repeat in 1987. And Bob Bruce has those stories, and he has more next on Eyewitness Sports.
Excitement in the cities. Big auto show, and Ford is the star again. Turbo Coupe Car of the Year, new full-size pickups, all-wheel drive Tempos. But you don't have to go to the city for the auto show. The same excitement is going on at your hometown Ford dealer. He's got the products, he's got the Ford money-saving preferred equipment packages, and his own everyday low prices. Yes, sir, when it comes to product programs and good prices, there's nothing small-town about your hometown Ford dealer. See him today.
Shop Menards this week for early savings on all your lawn care needs. You'll find everything from garden carts and wheelbarrows to Roper lawnmowers on sale now. Save on drop and broadcast spreaders, too. Get your garden ready with a tiller from Menards, like this easy-to-use 3-horsepower tiller, on sale now for just $219. Whatever you need for gardens and yards, shop this week and save at Menards.
We're helping you build America's heartland at Menards.
Presenting one of the most important developments in broadleaf weed control since the hand hoe. Now at a new low price. With this marvelous product, you can control most broadleaf weeds for less money than ever before. It's gentle on your soybeans, and it'll work in any tillage system. Presenting Bassagran. So roll on down to your dealer and take advantage of the new low price of broadleaf weed control.
The Art Global way of doing business. Give you huge inventory selection, the best price and the best deal every day, without the high pressure and verbal abuse you may get from other dealers. Today you get 3.9% APR financing for 24 months and up to $600 cash back on 87 Escorts, Mustangs, and Tempos. Plus you get 6-year, 60,000-mile warranties on all 87 Ford cars and light-duty trucks. Art Global Ford, Coon Rapids. Personal service, better deals, and better products every day.
Bob's here with the latest dribbling on the distaff side.
The latest of March. I mean, if it's March, you know, you got tournaments all over the place when it comes to high school sports. On the schedule this week, the girls' state high school basketball tournament. Let's start in Class AA, where so far the first-round winners are Hill Murray and Mankato East. Hill Murray opened this afternoon with a 54-42 win over Roseville. The Pioneers had the lead throughout. Tanya England was the leading scorer for Hill Murray with 20 points, and again, they win it by a score of 54-42. Hill Murray will now play Mankato East in the semifinals. Kendra Carter today, 18 points this afternoon as East beats Osseo 53-47. At the Met today, Wheaton opened the Class A quarterfinals with a 63-44 win over Tracy Milroy. All-Stater Mary Jo Miller, yes sir, 21 points for Tracy Milroy, but it wasn't nearly enough. Stephanie Burley and Sandra Wyke combined for 32 points for Wheaton. Wheaton goes on to round two, the final there, 63-44. Also in Class A, Pipestone knocked off Chisholm 41-27. The quarterfinals in both classes continue tonight at both the Met Center and the Minneapolis Auditorium. Well, it may be a new season, but Bert Blyleven had an old problem today in Florida. Bert, of course, set a record for home runs allowed in 1986, and he gave up 2 more today as the Reds beat the Twins 6-4. The trouble started early. First inning, rookie Paul O'Neill pounds one over the right field wall towards the Tangerine Bowl for a home run. Another rookie, Jeff Treadway, also homered off of Blyleven, and the Reds had the lead for good. The big gun, in fact, the only gun for the Twins today, Kirby Puckett. He had a double, a home run, and four RBIs, but again, the Reds win it 6-4. As a group, the Twins put up some pretty forgettable numbers last season, but individually, there were a couple of standouts. Kirby was one, and Gary Gaetti was the other. Those two formed a dynamic duo in 1986, and of course, they'd like to do the same in 1987. We get that story tonight from Channel 5's Joe Schmidt.
Kirby Puckett became a baseball household name in 1986, an all-star center fielder, a Gold Glove winner. He finished 6th in the voting for the American League Most Valuable Player, and he had the kind of numbers that most players can only dream about. Gary Gaetti had the dream season, too. He, too, was a Gold Glove winner, and his 34 homers was 3rd best in the American League. So this year at spring training, the two who put it all together last year are being asked if they can do it again this year.
Well, I'm not out to top what I did last year. I just want to you know, I didn't plan last year. I didn't say, well, I want to do this and do that. I'm the kind of person, I just go out and play hard every day, Smithy. And if you do that, then, you know, everything usually takes care of itself.
You do just about the same thing, but only you win a World Series. And that's how I'd want to top it. I don't know. I think I can improve on the year I had.
Puckett made headlines with his bat. He went from 4 homers in 85 to 31 in 86. But what Kirby's most proud about from last year is what he did with his glove.
It had to be winning my first Gold Glove. You know, that sticks out in my mind a lot. I know I did a lot of other things, but, you know, winning my first Golden Glove, because the first 2 years I thought I had a chance at it, and I wasn't even close.
Gaetti was proud of his first Gold Glove, too, but he considers his biggest accomplishment a feat at the plate.
I hit a triple last year. See, I didn't hit any triples the year before that.
If Puckett and Gaetti can repeat their performances from last year in 1987, the Twins have a much better chance of not repeating their performance in the standings. In Orlando, I'm Joe Schmidt, Channel 5, Eyewitness Sports.
Little hockey going on tonight. The North Stars are on the road for a game in Boston. That's the first of a 2-game trip for the Stars. They'll play in Hartford on Saturday. And speed skater Nick Thomas of Minnetonka set a world record in the 500 meters today in the Netherlands, and we'll have to watch for him in the '88 Olympics in Calgary. Of course, we covered him in Sarajevo, and he didn't do too well there. He was, you know, up near the top, but when it comes to Calgary, he's a definite contender for a gold medal.
Good. You know, Puckett, you think it's because he got married, all that home cooking? He's
Are you saying that Kirby looked a little heavy in that?
Happy and hefty, yeah.
Did you say that?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to see him real soon when they open up at the Metrodome. So,
Oh.
yeah, he did. But I think he's losing weight quickly. We hope.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Bob.
Far be it for me to criticize someone.
Me too. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, I managed to stay out of that. Well, if you think you have that special love it takes to care for a special child, we need your help.
Up next, you're going to meet Jessica, our Thursday's child, who could become your child. Stay tuned.
It's new car season, and nobody gives you more great reasons to buy than your Greater Metropolitan Pontiac dealers. Low 3.9% financing on every new Pontiac in stock, or cash back on all Pontiac models. Up to $1,200 cash back, buy or lease. Pontiac 6000s, Bonnevilles, Grand Ams, Sunbirds. No matter what hot new Pontiac you pick, our 3.9% GMAC financing or cash back offers make it your season to save. The best buys will go first, so hurry to your Greater Metropolitan Pontiac dealers.
These days, you hear a lot of noise from herbicide companies. Noise about their prices, noise about saving money, and a lot of noise about costing less than Dual and Bicep. But with our rebate program, you can save $2 a gallon on Dual and $1 a gallon on Bicep. And if you're interested in the best possible weed control, that's the kind of noise you want to hear. The Dual and Bicep rebate program. See your dealer for details.
Parker, what are these, old paychecks?
Here they are.
We'll work with you. How can you be so good at making money and so bad at managing it?
I'm busy.
We'll do our best. Look, call my Norwest banker. She can help you make better use of your money.
We know the way.
Once you get it to the bank.
We are Norwest.
Announcing Frozen Food Week in Super Value.
I'm here to tell you what you should do this week. You should save on all kinds of frozen foods. And what I should do is get out of here.
Tropicana orange juice, regular or home style, is only 79 cents. Assorted Banquet frozen dinners, 87 cents each. And Banquet fried chicken, regular or hot and spicy, $2.67.
Come to Frozen Food Week at Super Value.
The prices are almost as low as the temperature. And that's low.
There are hundreds of children in Minnesota who are looking for families to adopt them. And tonight, Kevin Berger introduces us to one of them, a preschooler named Jessica, who's going to be a bright spot in some family's life. Jessica is tonight's Thursday's child.
Jessica is a bright-eyed 4-year-old who is curious and loves to play. She has a special doll she likes to cuddle.
Want to sit in my lap?
Yeah, up she goes. Good. Jessica is an affectionate child who seems to revel in attention. She has a loving relationship with her foster family and will be capable of forming a loving bond with adoptive parents.
Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop.
Mentally, Jessica is like a 2-year-old, but she's growing and progressing every day, and her foster mother sees her future as promising.
I see Jessie as having about as good potential as most kids myself. I believe that she's had emotional disadvantages and that has held her back a lot.
Jessica is a happy, likable little girl. She's doing well at a special school and gets along with the other children in her foster home. Jessica needs parents and older siblings who will nurture her and give her the love that will help her thrive. She needs a family willing to work with her, and she will give them back a lot. If there's room in your life for this little girl or any of Minnesota's waiting children, call 646-6393. Kevin Berger, Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Kevin. And Jessica, another sweet little lady.
Yeah,
David?
Spring starts tomorrow,
Yep.
and it looks like the weather's going to cooperate. Should be a real nice day tomorrow. Overnight tonight, not bad either. Cloudy skies, but those clouds will gradually thin, 33 to 37. By the time you get up tomorrow morning, it should be partly cloudy, a little bit of sun.